Hi everybody, I'm Carmelana Tibbetts. Welcome to the Agosia Art Studio. Today I'm taking a few minutes away from sewing and doll time to show you one of the quilts that I just finished. This pattern is called Steeplechase, and the inspiration for this quilt was one that I saw in Kay Fassett's book on quilts in the V&A Museum. The inspiration quilt was actually made with faded florals and cloth in the more pastel muted colors, but still it's a very striking pattern. And I really particularly like this block. This is a Drunkard's Path block because I can use it to use up almost any size or shaped scrap of fabric that I have in the studio, and I accumulate a lot of different scraps. I had a whole bunch of green fabrics, which is kind of unusual for me, and I saved those scraps and I kind of put them in this particular area of the quilt. And one of the reasons that I liked this pattern a lot is that it looks very different from a distance, which is kind of how you're viewing it, compared to how you would see it close up. So from a distance, it's a little bit difficult for you to see all the greens, but when you come up close, you can see the diversity of fabrics and all of the different textures that I have here. So a couple of favorite patches, this little bit of an old vintage embroidered doily. I cut up a couple pieces of that and I have that in the quilt. The original piece was falling apart and in shreds, but the embroidery was still in good shape, so I went ahead and cut it up and used it. Then there was this piece here, which you can't really see, and this is a black wool suiting, and it's an old suit. I'm going to guess like from the 30s or 40s. And then this is linen around it. So I'm kind of bad because I eat and I drink beverages in the studio, and it was a really humid day and I put my drink down and the condensation on the glass kind of trickled across the table and it got this particular piece of wool wet. And so what I had to do was I had to wash it and reblocked it because it kind of shrank in a weird way. So while it was wet, I discovered that this fabric wasn't black, it was actually dyed with an incredibly dark blue dye, and the blue bled out into the linen. So now it still looks black, but there's this beautiful blue halo around it, and it kind of looks like the atmosphere on a dark planet or something. It was a little bit of a surprise, and at first I was kind of dismayed by that, but I was like, no, let's just go ahead and keep it in the quilt and we'll use it. So I went ahead and I sewed it in as a patch, and I'm really happy with it. So there's all kinds of things. So there's this wacky silk that's from a tie from the 1960s. Here is, it's like a metallic silk. It reminds me of like those disco shirts that you used to have in the 70s. There's just all kinds of wonderful fabrics in this quilt, and I really like it. So I'm taking pictures today, and I thought I would do a little video to let you see the finished work. It is hand quilted in big swirls using yellow thread. So when you see it up close, you can see that, but from a distance you can't, which is a little bit sad. I will take some close-ups and I'll sprinkle them throughout so that you get to see some of these neat fabrics. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about my quilting or the process, let me know. See you soon. Bye-bye.